So there was another and like we've been talking about it too, this last couple of weeks with coaching has just been insane. And this was one of the latest ones that was just crazy to me. Sean McDermott is out of Buffalo this season after the heartbreaking loss. We can go over it if you want to. I'm sure it's been probably people ad nauseum at it now. If it was a catch or was not a catch, that whole game was just a wild ass game. But needless to say, the biggest news coming out of it now is Sean McDermott is out as the Buffalo Bills head coach. McDermott finished at 98-50 in the regular season and 8-8 in the playoffs. Mike, was this a knee-jerk reaction? What was your first thought when you heard this news come out?
I was surprised, man. I was super surprised. The guy has a great success rate with the Buffalo Bills. He's taking them to a lot of playoff games. Yes, there's been arch nemesis in Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes has taken them out and hasn't been letting them go to the big game in the Super Bowl. But, you know, this year round was the time to do it, right? But if you really look back on all of it, I wouldn't really put the blame on the coach. I wouldn't really put the blame on Josh Allen. Like, dude, defense, man. Defense. Every single time that they're losing in one of these games, Josh Allen is going off. Yes, he makes a mistake or two for sure. Everybody does. Every quarterback does. But the defense is always allowing points. And when you go back and look at this game against the Broncos, man, a touchdown that was not supposed to be a touchdown right before halftime happens. And it's like, how do you let someone go over the top of you with 22 seconds left when you know that they're trying to go for a touchdown? How does that happen? Because it's bad defense, man. Everybody can point the fingers at, oh, Josh Allen did a fumble. Oh, Josh Allen threw an interception late in the game and this and that. Yes, again, everybody make mistakes. But you're not going to talk about how Josh Allen literally led them to the playoffs. You're not going to talk about how he threw 3 passing TDs, like how he goes off on every single game. Y'all just want to point the fingers, obviously, at the people that are the head of the snake, which is the head coach and the quarterback, always. And you want to take them off, chop the head off, and get them out of there. Okay, I get it. But at the end of the day, you really going to find a better coach than McDermott right now? I don't see it.
I agree. And I think if we can actually, we'll get more into the Buffalo game later on. We'll just focus on, I think, McDermott for the moment here. But no, I agree. I think that this one was a shocker to me. I've talked to some Bills fans that were like, they were ready for this because they were tired of the constant heartbreak of getting to the playoffs, going on a run and getting about the same place every year, championship or the game before. But I completely agree with you that there's been a lot of things that's been out of his hands, and especially this season, going 12-5 with the roster that they had, that with all the injuries they had, it was damn impressive, honestly. They went into Jacksonville and won on the road as well. And Jacksonville was one of the hottest teams going. They went in a little bit injured. I think that McDermott deserved at least one more year, at least. I think he's been a damn good coach, but I can also understand where some of the Bills fans might have been like, let's go ahead and get this guy out of here and get some fresh blood because we do have arguably the best quarterback in the league, or the most important quarterback in the league. You can, put him up there, Mahomes, Burrow, whoever you want, but Josh Allen is the man. Let's face it, there's no way around it. Having said that, I don't think this was McDermott's problem. The only game I would give him that was necessarily his fault maybe was whenever they mismanaged the time clock, both the 13 seconds and, obviously Kansas City ends up winning that game. But other than that, I thought McDermott's done a hell of a job. Now, do you think McDermott is going to get hired on right away, or is he going to be another one of those wait for the times right maybe next year?
Well, that's all ultimately on his decision, but if it was up to someone else going to hire him, yes, he's going to get hired right away, 100%. I think that's going to happen within the next week or two if he decides to take some interviews and doesn't decide to, oh, you know what, I'm going to just take a year off, relax, be with my family, be with my friends and all that, which is mad respect. You went on a long run. Now you got to get your mind right. A lot of stuff comes with coaching. If people don't know this, they spend almost 24/7 working at home, at the office, on the field, off the field, wherever. So if he decides not to come back and take a break, man, I respect him. If he decides to go right now and go for some interviews to get a head coaching job, yes, I see him getting hired next week.
Honestly, I was thinking about it this afternoon, because I knew we were going to be talking about this later on. I think the perfect spot would be for him. And I haven't heard them having interviews or even requesting interviews for it. This did just happen, though, would be Baltimore. I think Baltimore would be the absolute best spot for Sean McDermott. He was supposed to have a defensive background. And, I mean, think about it, too. You got Lamar Jackson right there. You have basically another version of Josh Allen in there. Granted, it didn't always work out in Buffalo, but that's, again, going back to the defense. I think you're right on that. So I think Baltimore would be the perfect spot for Sean McDermott. I think that would be an amazing hire for them. They seem like they're leaning towards Jesse Minter right now, but I also don't think a lot of people realize that Sean McDermott was going to be out there before some of these guys got hired. If I was him or if I was Baltimore, I would definitely be putting some feelers out there and see what it would take to get him in there.